presented by the Strong Blue Line Foundation and powered by Moose Ridge Coffee in Snake River Landing, Idaho Falls. Welcome to the podcast, where former San Antonio police officer, author, and pastor Tim Rupp walks you through real-life scenarios involving our police officers and digs into the depths of facts and opinions on each case. This is Cop Talk, and it starts now.
Hello and welcome to Cop Talk, the radio show and podcast of the Strong Blue Line. I'm Tim Rupp, and my partner, producer, station manager of the Rev.fm and friend, Mr. Gary Austin. And it's not Alrighty Austin. Gary
I thought
Austin.
it was.
No, it's not Alrighty. It's Gary. It's Gary.
Tim Rupp.
Gary. Hey, so, man, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back.
We were gone for about the month. We were gone for about a month.
Yeah.
Most of October we were gone. We left late September, got back, pre-recorded some of the shows here.
Yeah.
So, and I heard you got contact from some people asking about how to donate and stuff. Appreciate that, you know. The strongblueline.org, that's the place to go if you want more information about the Strong Blue Line. If you go into blogs there, Gary, into the blogs tab, that's actually my monthly email newsletters.
Yes.
So people can go there. And if they want the history, they can go back to 2016.
Oh, wow.
When I put my first one up there every month since 2016.
That's a while ago.
Yeah,
almost
it's
10 years.
10 years.
Very cool.
Been writing that. So, and I hopefully it's improved over the years.
Yeah.
I hope you don't go back there.
I think it has. Yeah,
so
it's a good website too. It's very user friendly, and so that
and we got some new things that hopefully going to be rolling out. So we're in the process of doing that. Not ready to make the announcement yet.
Okay,
we're getting close to making the announcement. Hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months or so. It's a process, Gary.
Yeah, it sure is.
With technology,
it really is.
Sometimes things don't move as fast as you would like it to, but it's in the Lord's hands. All that we're doing here. Hey, let's look at the. I want to talk about what I did, where we went, Sherry and
Perfect.
I did.
Yeah,
but before we
good.
do that, let's honor those officers who were killed in the line of duty on this date in history. And so I have a New York municipal police officer. He's a Patrolman Gurley, and his end of watch was November the 5th, 1854.
Ooh.
10 years prior to the Civil War. Well,
Civil War,
6 years prior to the
6
start of
years,
the Civil War. As Patrolman Gurley was walking a prisoner to the station, one of the prisoner's friends attempted to stop him. The man told the officer that no friend of his was to be arrested. He then suddenly stabbed Patrolman Gurley in the cheek. Gurley attempted to take the suspect into custody, but was stabbed again, this time in the side. The suspect was taken into custody by another officer who happened to come upon the scene. 2 days later, Patrolman Gurley succumbed to his stab wounds, 36 years old. So he lived for 2 days with the stab wound, but this was in 1854.
Yeah.
So you remember the pictures, and you've probably seen and read about the horrific sawbones during the Civil War, and that was prior to, we didn't know about infection and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So very early. So 2 days survived with the stab wound, probably just bled to death, I would imagine. I don't think infection.
Internal. Yeah.
But anyway, 36 years old. That's all the information we have. What do you have, Gary?
This is Mangum Police Department out of Louisiana. End of watch Thursday, November 5th. Of 2020. So on October 17th, Officer Marshall stopped a vehicle which had just been stolen during an armed commercial robbery. But as Officer Waters stepped away from his patrol car, the driver of the stolen vehicle shot him once in the abdomen. So the round stuck Officer Waters below his vest and damaged his femoral artery. And the man fled the scene, was arrested several hours later. So Officer Waters remained hospitalized until succumbing to his wound. So that was October 17th.
Femoral artery. That's kind of like a death sentence. There's nothing they can do about it.
Right. That's just
Just bleed out.
Yep. Yeah, very sad. I mean, it was October 17th when he was shot. This is November 5th, end of watch. So
Yeah, so he lived a couple months. I guess they were able to slow down the bleeding or something, but just couldn't repair it.
yeah, he served as a part-time police officer with the Mangum Police Department for 6 years. Was also a full-time EMT for the Northwest Louisiana Ambulance Service. In 2022, in fact, interesting, part of Highway 425 was renamed Marshall Waters Jr. Memorial Highway.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was 49.
And,
so
49 years old, and he worked
Very
part-time as a police officer, full-time as EMT.
yeah,
People that get into the service, they just kind of do that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And I'm picturing him being EMT and making calls with officers because you make crash scenes, you make, shootings, whatever. Officers are there, EMT's there, and they're probably like, "Hey, man, do you ever think about we need some help? We're kind of short of officers." He probably just, "Yeah, I'll help you out," and went in part-time doing that and full-time EMT and give his life in service to the people of Louisiana.
yeah.
So
It's pretty cool.
yeah. So we like to honor officers here. I mean, we hear about it all the time. And Gary, with all the stuff going on with the ICE agents and all the threats against them, and just terrible what's going on. So Sherry and I have been on the road. We went down to Arkansas, and from Arkansas we went to Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh,
Went down there, and I know you're going to ask, Gary. Yes, we did go. We did hit a couple restaurants.
okay.
With the seafood, the seafood. Matter of fact, I had some. I was going to say I had frog legs, but I actually had the frog legs in Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went to a place there in Arkansas. Good seafood place, a kind of a buffet. But anyway, we were down in Lafayette, Louisiana. Did a winning gunfight there.
Cool.
And so spoke some Louisiana officers. Good. It was a good time down there. Just friendly folks. Brand new classroom.
Oh, wow.
Their police department is in an old building. It's kind of a cool looking old building. You go down to Louisiana, Lafayette, the downtown. It's historical. A lot of historical stuff down there. And it's kind of like New Orleans. You've been down there.
Yeah.
And you just walk around the old, place. It's kind of neat seeing all that stuff.
That's
but
awesome.
They just redid the classroom. I mean, state-of-the-art stuff to use.
Huh.
So it was kind of cool teaching in there, teaching in the classroom, and invited us back, so maybe we can get back down there sometime. We also hit Longmont, Colorado. Longmont is a suburb of Denver. It's kind of between Denver and Fort Collins. All that's, just people and got Longmont, Loveland, Fort Collins, Aurora, Boulder. There's a bunch of little cities around there. And so Longmont PD sponsored the event. Again, their classroom, they didn't have a classroom, so they got us hooked up at the local museum there. So we go into the
nice.
Museum, and they had a really nice classroom.
Very
nice.
cool.
And a friend of mine, he lives there in Loveland. He lives in the area. And so he helped set this up, and he went to Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A donated meals for everybody. And he got
Very cool.
bunch of stuff. So it was a really good. And this is the first one for me, Gary. We had some officers from Buckley Space Force Base.
Buckley
Space Force.
Space Force. Huh.
Yeah. So the Space Force,
cool.
the Space Force, President Trump in his first presidency designated the Space Force. And so some of the Air Force bases were converted to Space Force, but and so you have it's a different division. They come under the Department of Air Force, I believe. I think they're under that, but they're a separate branch, if you will. Kind of like, I think it's kind of like the Coast Guard comes under the Navy, but the Coast Guard is separate, but yet it comes under the Navy. Kind of deal, So
very cool.
Anyways, it was kind of cool. So we had about 8 guys from there, and they came out. They were all excited. Hey, can we take a picture with you? Like, okay. Pictures. And I contacted their chief, the chief of investigations. I said, hey, I just want to let you know you guys were friendly, real professional, and appreciate it. And he said, hey, can you come and do some training for us?
Wow.
So I got a call with them that's coming up, and so we're going to try to get to the Buckley Space Force
very cool
base to do some training with the officers there. They got about 150 officers there on the base. So
wow. Well, it's apparently it's, and I know this, but it's very effective. You know, the officers are in need of that.
They are.
And I love that.
Officers are always needing training in any professional, Gary. You know that,
right?
You yourself go to different places. You go to conventions and stuff, and you catch, you learn the latest technology and what to do. Police officers do the same thing. They're a profession, and they keep up. The thing is, Gary, sometimes you go to training, and it's not that good at training.
Yeah.
People are just trained there to get a buck and move on. We offer good professional training, and of course, it's not faith-based. Faith is there, the spiritual part, and we know the spiritual part refers to God and Christianity and all that, because we are spiritual beings. We are body, soul, and spirit. So training, especially in that profession, you need to train your body, soul, and spirit.
Absolutely.
So when you do things, you go in. So they haven't had this type of training before. They appreciate the training, and it's going good.
Yeah, that is great.
And we always get to give the gospel.
Yes.
Because we provide it for free. We're like, Gary, I'm just so wealthy, I can go around doing this for free. Not really. The Strong Blue Line Foundation is a nonprofit charitable organization.
Yeah.
And so we invite donors to donate. We have some that donate monthly. We have some that will donate once a year, annually. We have some it'll be a one-time shot. They'll donate and stuff. But all that money goes to providing resources to have to travel and all kinds of stuff. So want more information on that? TheStrongBlueLine.org. TheStrongBlueLine.org. And Gary, I was intrigued. We often talk. Generally, we talk something with law enforcement, policing, or something.
Yeah.
There's so much out there. This caught my eye. This comes from the Associated Press. It said, Kentucky Supreme Court overturns city ban on no-knock warrants. And this is from September, so a couple months ago. And Frankfort, Kentucky, a Kentucky city ban on no-knock warrants. You know what a no-knock warrant is, Gary?
I don't, Tim.
Okay, if I were to go to your house and I'd walk up to your door, I would go and I would wait for you to come to the door.
Okay,
And
that's a
you would-
knock.
And that's a knock. And you would open the door and you'd say, "Oh, hi, Tim." Or if you didn't know who I was, you'd say, "Hi, may I help you?"
Yeah.
If I go to your door with a no-knock, I would just go to your door, kick the door in, jump in and say, "Hi, Gary, I'm here." And you would probably be shocked.
To put it nicely, yeah.
And I may be shocked. But so a no-knock warrant is a warrant where the officers do not knock and announce.
Okay.
Generally, an officer will knock on the door. If, like, let's say, for example, you didn't pay a traffic ticket and they put out a traffic warrant for your arrest. And you got like 5 or 6 of these, and the deputy's going to now come and serve the warrant. He will go to your house, knock on the door, wait for you to come. Mr. Austin, yeah, I'm Deputy so-and-so with Bonneville County Sheriff's Office. You have a warrant for your arrest. You have been served. And he will hand you the warrant, and you must go in. Or if it's a civil warrant, that's how it's works. If it's an arrest warrant, he'll say, "You're under arrest. You need to come with me."
Oh.
Okay. And so if you're under arrest there, and then you slam the door, and he can go in after you. Okay. It depends on the state. Depends on what kind of warrant. A felony warrant, no question, then going after you.
Yeah.
Okay. But normally that's how you do it. If they're doing an arrest warrant, they usually try to get the person in public when it's as safe as possible. But if it's a search warrant, they want to search your residence. They're either going to search your residence for evidence of a crime, or if it's a scene of a crime. So a lot of people don't even realize this. When somebody calls the police, they call 911. Mommy and Daddy are fighting, and Mommy just shot Daddy, or whatever. Police get there, code 3, boom, 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 go in, get the scene. And there's Daddy. He was shot. And before they start doing anything, they get it safe. The scene's safe. The guns are gone. Are located or whatever. Then they just put a freeze on the scene, and they go get a warrant to search.
Oh.
They don't just search without a warrant.
Yeah.
So you have to have a warrant, because the Fourth Amendment guarantees our right against unreasonable searches and seizures.
And those are signed
government.
by a judge, right?
Yes, very, very important. I'm glad you brought that up. So there are no no-knock warrants. Generally, no-knock warrants are for you're looking for to seize drugs. Because if you're a drug dealer, Gary, and I go up there, I'm the police, and I go up there, and you look at your peephole, you're like, it's the police. I wonder what he wants. You're going to go flush your drugs down the toilet or whatever, right? And you're going to get rid of the drugs, and you go, yes, officer, what can I help you with? I have a search warrant here, and I can search your property. You read it, and I'm not going to find anything.
Right.
Because you got rid of them. But so when they're searching it, if it's a no-knock, they get permission from a judge to no-knock, and they go in and they get the drugs. Now, that's one type of no. Another no-knock is you're a danger. So you're wanted for murder, or you're wanted for shooting, a robbery, or something like that. And if the officer during the investigation, they say, this guy that we're looking for, this bad guy, he's a threat to officers and to other people. So we need a no-knock warrant. And a judge signs that, or they just don't go get a no-knock warrant and say, I'm going to file this no-knock warrant. There, we got it. A judge has to read that and approve of it. It's called judicial oversight. And that's so important because the police can't just go arrest whoever they want to arrest.
Right.
They can't just go, I think Gary Austin's guilty of something, so I'm going to go get a warrant, write it out, and go arrest him. Judge is going to say, well, why?
What evidence?
What evidence do you have? What probable cause do you have to show that he needs to be arrested? And so you have to have that in a warrant. But what this is about, Lexington. There's Louisville later on, but it says here a Kentucky city ban of no-knock warrants was struck down by the state's highest court, which said it conflicted with state law that limits but does not prohibit such warrants during police raids. So what happened, Gary, is the city of Lexington in Kentucky said, we're going to ban no-knock warrants. So the city council made an ordinance saying that no-knock warrants are banned. Our police department will not conduct no-knock warrants. Somehow it went to the Supreme Court. Somebody complained or something, and it went to the Supreme Court, and there was a 4-2 ruling. The state Supreme Court said that Lexington's ban on no-knock warrants conflicted with state law passed by the GOP legislator and signed by a Democratic governor. So you got a GOP, the Republicans legislator, and a Democrat governor both signed this, saying you can do no-knock warrants. Beshear's spokesperson, which is the governor's spokesperson, said this, that the legislation created significant and strict restrictions about how and when a warrant can be secured. Under state law, now this is Kentucky state law, no-knock warrants are limited to cases with clear and convincing evidence that a person in a residence had committed or suspected of a violent crime. So this is an arrest warrant, no-knock warrant. It's not a search warrant, it's an arrest warrant. It also prohibits such warrants from being served between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. except in certain circumstances. So let me go back to my example, Gary. You didn't pay 5 traffic tickets, and they issue a warrant out for your arrest. A judge is not going to sign a no-knock warrant for that.
Right.
They're going to say, no, you got to go by. And what they're going to do, realistically, they're going to realize where you work. They're going to say, Gary works over there at the radio station. We'll just go by the radio station and arrest him. We'll just yank him off the air. Yeah. That would be good. That's probably what a policeman would do. Yeah. Is Gary Austin here? Yeah, well, I need to talk to him. You're under arrest, Mr. Austin.
Right, which is justice, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, exactly. You did that. So they're going to try to get you on a public place. It's a safe thing to do. Yeah. Now, if they suspect that, it's kind of aggravated assault, things like that, they're going to pick a place to arrest you.
Or it could be armed. It could be the risk.
Armed, you're aggravated assault. You rob someplace, but it's not towards violence. Like, okay. But it could be what they're going to do. They're going to wait for you outside the radio station.
Yeah.
And when you go to open your car, you get ready to go. You got your keys in your hand. You're getting ready to open it. Boom, they're on you.
Yeah.
Real quick before you can do anything.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing. But in certain circumstances, they can do a no-knock. So the Lexington prohibited this. They said you just won't do it at all. Well, so what's the problem with this? I know who complained. It was the police officers. The problem is, Gary, let's say somebody like the guy that assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's say this was in Utah and they go to arrest him. Now, he turned himself in. He turned himself in. But you go to arrest this guy, he fits the profile of a no-knock warrant.
Right.
Hey, he's at his house. He's in here now. It's midnight. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He went in. We think he's sleeping. So we're not going to go in there, knock on the door, wake him up so he can grab a gun. We're going to go in.
Yeah.
We're going to do a no-knock. We're going in. And it's safe for everybody. And so that's what a no-knock warrant is. So why did all this come about? Well, it came about really, if you look down on this article here, out of Louisville, Breonna Taylor, you might remember her.
Yes.
In 2020, she was killed by police officers. Taylor was shot by Louisville officers who entered her home in March of 2020 using a drug warrant. Now, this was a drug no-knock warrant. Taylor's boyfriend shot at the officers as they entered, and officers returned fire, striking Taylor several times in her hallway. Louisville passed a ban on no-knock warrants that year. So I don't know why, and it may be because it's a drug warrant, I don't know, but this made national news. It's a tragic event.
Mm-hmm.
Officers go in there, a no-knock warrant. Like I said, if you're a drug dealer, we got to seize the drugs.
Right.
That's the evidence against you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't go to court and say, well, he's a drug dealer. Where is the drugs? Well, we knocked on the door and went in, and he didn't have any.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Never.
Case dismissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not even going to get to court with that. So it's a tragic situation. But if we look at it, who is responsible for Breonna Taylor's death? It's not the officers.
Yeah.
It's her boyfriend.
Right.
Her boyfriend is one that started shooting. First of all, she's there with her boyfriend. Don't tell me she didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And likely involved, don't know. If you're living with somebody that's a bad character, you know their character. Okay.
Right.
There could be circumstances where you really don't know. But let's say she was totally innocent and she really did not know what was going on. It's still on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the things. He's a drug dealer with a gun. The police come in, he starts shooting. So his thing is, well, I didn't know it was the police coming in. I thought it was somebody coming to rob me for my drugs or somebody coming to rob me, so I was defending my house. That's why. Okay. The fact of the matter is, you still, that doesn't justify what you did.
Mm-mm.
Because you're a criminal.
No.
You had you were there. You were going to warrants. It would have been totally different if the officers had a warrant and they hit the wrong house, and they go in your house instead,
right?
And there's shots fired and stuff. Then that's a whole different issue. Now it would have been unintentional on the officers. It would have been a tragic accident, but the city would have been responsible.
Yeah.
The agency would have been responsible because why? Why did they get the wrong address? Did somebody switch the things out? Did they just write it down inadvertently, which is usually the case? They just get the wrong house. They hit it by mistake. It happens.
Right.
Fortunately, usually there's no harm.
Yeah.
It's just, we're sorry. We dust you off.
Exactly.
We'll get somebody to come in here and fix your door. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
It happens because we're running warrants all the time. But policing is dangerous. The people we deal with is dangerous. And so officers need to be careful. But, and that no-knock warrants, why I said, what you pointed out, it's got to be signed by a judge. Very important. Police just don't go out and get these warrants and without being signed by a judge. And with all the thing that's going on with ISIS doing, what's going on with the drug cartels, this is why some people like Rand Paul is saying they need to have warrants to do this. They need to arrest these guys. They're running drugs. They're not coming in. It's not like they got a gunship coming over here to shoot the coast when they get here. But President Trump is saying, no, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're coming. We know. And people, well, you really don't know who they are. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're fishing boats. No, they're not. These are not fishing boats. These are clear. They know who they're targeting. They know what they're doing. Whether that's justified, under act of war, or should it be a police action, that's still up for somebody to decide.
Right, absolutely.
But that's and I can see both sides of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so intriguing about policing and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
the legal aspects
really is.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, Gary, we are plumb out of time. Plumb out of time. Hey, thanks for listening in. If you have a topic or question you want to address on Cop Talk, send me an email. You can email suggestions, questions, comments, or complaints to coptalk@therev.fm. That's coptalk@therev.fm. And if you missed us, you can catch us on Amazon, Google, Apple, YouTube, and Spotify platforms. Any other platforms in there, Gary? There's so many of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Just find it. Find it. You'll get there. Thought from the good book today. Do not say, I will do to him as he has done to me. I will pay the man back for what he has done. Thanks for joining us and helping to make the thin blue line a strong blue line.
Cop Talk is presented by the Strong Blue Line Foundation and sponsored by Moose Ridge Coffee in Snake River Landing, Idaho Falls. Questions and comments are always welcome by email to coptalk@therev.fm. Listen, follow, leave a review, and share this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or YouTube. And visit thestrongblueline.org to learn how you can be a supporter. Cop Talk is a Rev FM production, produced and edited by Gary Austin. Thank you for joining us on Cop Talk.